being representatives of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in such high status entitle them for nothing less than reverence and respect. And contrary to what you may read in modern books written in English or in any other European languages dealing with the history of religion, as it's called, the mission of the prophets and messengers were not the outcome of their own effort, but it was, according to Islam, an obligation. It was a task which was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to these people, assignment, and He have chosen them specially for it. He has prepared them to be able to carry out such mission. So without comparison, if modern times or even in any time of history any government is sending its envoy or its ambassador to fulfill a task, they choose such ambassador or messenger with specific qualities matching the nature of this task. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have appointed these people and equipped them with qualities and attributes to make them able to convey the message in the best way, and so they did. So because I'm giving only a very short time, I would like to give you a brief summary of these qualities and attributes. And I divided that into two sections. One of them, I'm trying to recognize the main features of the mission of the prophets, which is the da'wah. Da'wah is a beautiful word. Da'wah is invitation, and you invite people usually to something which is pleasant. You don't invite people for something which is hated, but something which they would love and enjoy. And when you invite someone, you aim to honor these invited. You don't invite people and humiliate them, but you are bringing them to something beneficent, something enjoyable, something useful. And so is the work of the prophets and messengers. And actually the message is to call people to live a true life. And hence in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing us, or those who believe, to respond to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إِذَا دَعَاكُمْ لِمَا يُحْيِيكُمْ, when he invites you to what makes you alive, what gives you the life, the true life. And true life cannot be but in worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and live according to his religion. So the features of and the properties of the da'wah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to mankind mainly are 7. The first of them, as I said, it is a divine obligation and task assigned by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not like the reformers and the human leaders who may start their work and activities because they themselves realized that a human being needed such effort, and they were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is very special thing, because they will be accountable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are before that guided by Him, and the message they convey to us is not of their own production. That's why when we read Orientalists writing about the Prophet ﷺ and said Muhammad they call him sallallahu alaihi wasallam the founder of Islam. He is not the founder of Islam. He is the Prophet of Islam who have been sent with the message of Islam from the true founder, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam is the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is not the work of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second characteristic, that these prophets and messengers, they are not seeking any reward or any material reward from anyone, from human beings, but they are seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are doing that as a show of obedience to the Creator who assigned them to the job. And that can explain many things in volumes, why the degree of dedication and commitment of these noble people are immatchable by ordinary human beings. And that leads us to the third quality of the mission of the prophets, that their understanding and their living of the religion is so pure and so sincere. The sincerity to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that worshipping Him alone without any contamination or without any association with anything else. Obviously we understand that because they are the ones who will teach us how to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. But definitely they were purified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and their hearts are completely devoted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this sincerity is one of the great qualities of the da'wah.